So, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, everyone from all over the world, from wherever you're calling in from. Welcome to this session tonight. We're going to be looking at two strategies that I've been practicing for the past 1 week. Not one of the strategies I've just been practicing for the past 1 week. The other one I've been doing it for the past 1 to 2 months now, and I'm really confident that at least it gives at least 80% to 90% success rate, which is good enough for me. Now that said, markets would always do what it would do. You will not always get 100% of return on your trading or your investment or the use of your strategy. So it's always advisable to just stick to one strategy. No strategy is the ultimate strategy for this market. So just to pick the ones that would work for you, the one that suits your personality. If you're the kind of person that's quite complicated, you like things to be plenty before before you can make a way out of it. You want to see Fibonacci on the same chart. You want to see Elliott waves on the same chart. You want to see stochastic on the same chart. You want to see support and resistance. You want to see all of those charts to make before you can trade a particular pair or make a particular entry. If you're that kind of person, then by all means, if that works for you, there's no law that says you can't do that. But if you're the simplistic kind of person, all you need is just one or two confirmation before you jump into the market, or one or two tools strategy before you can take a position. There's no rule that says you can't be that. But what we train or teach here is we do price action, market structure, doing using support and resistance trend trading patterns as well. Just basically naked forex, not doing too much on the charts. Then using that to be able to give our confirmation before we enter a trade. Now today, what I have prepared for us is supply and demand. I've already mentioned they've shown a number of us before earlier. I think last month or 2 months ago. We've treated with a number of us, but I want to just really, really dig deep into that. Now, remember when we were doing the McBillions LBO? Remember we were looking for the highs and the lows of different candles. I just found out about this data window. So you have that in this item here. If you click that, it brings this data window in. So with this tool, you can just mouse over it. It will give you all the details of that candle, the time, the open, the high, the low, the close, and volume, and all of that. All of that information is on this data window. So if you just mouse over any of the candles, it will do that, give you that information. If you're still using just the numbers, if you're not doing it manually like we normally do, remember the manual pattern that we do that and then do that manually. If you're not doing that, if you're using the numbers itself, then this will be a good tool to use. You don't necessarily need to be mousing over and waiting for that tooltip to launch this white one here. Just mouse over and then the information will be given to you on the data window. So that's something new I just picked up. Excuse me. Now, supply and demand, we've already learned about it. I'm not going to give you too much detail, too much information on it. It's just really what it is: supply and demand. What you know in economics, when price goes up, people tend not to want to buy a particular item. They rather go for a substitute item. When price comes down, you see demand would increase. So it's just really what it is. Market is made up of those two entities, supply and demand, where money is being funds is supplied or funds is demanded. It's just really what it is. And these are just zones on the charts. They are just zones on the charts, nothing more. So now I give it to you straight up. When price is leaving a particular area with a great force, so to speak, if it's leaving it from the top down, it is actually leaving a supply zone, what they call a supply zone. If it is leaving from bottom up, it is leaving from a demand zone. That is all you need to do. A price leaves from a higher place of concentration with a strong force coming down. It is leaving from a supply zone. If it is leaving from the bottom and going up, it is leaving from a demand zone. I just want to be sure that we all got that. If you all got that, can you just write one on the chat? Just need to be sure that we all got that part. That part, just write one on the chat platform on this join me if you got that. Fantastic. If you got that. Anyone else? Okay, all right. Right. Anastasia got that. Anyone else? Everyone? I know we have okay, fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. Now let me give it to you. What do I mean by force? What you're looking for in the market is a large candle. You're looking for a large candle to leave a particular zone. You're looking for a large candle to leave a particular zone. What do I mean by a large candle? This is a large candle. This is not a large candle. This is not large enough. A large candle with um, small wicks, preferably. The wicks should be small. Like this is another example of a large candle. And most times you will see these large candles more in your higher time frames. You will see them come out more often in your higher time frame. Look at this, for instance. Look at how large this is. Look at how large this is. Look at how large this is. Huh? So let me just take this thing out. One more distraction. Huh? So this is another large candle. You see how large this is. Basically, I know they call it some other place they call it the engulfing candle because it engulfs the previous candle. It's larger than the previous candle. It's inside the other candle. Can be found inside that candle. So large candle leaving a zone is an example of it's what creates a demand zone or a supply zone. Give you a typical example. Come. Now, see what is happening here. Okay, let me just do one here first and then do another one here. You see what is happening here? Oh, okay. Here's my chart. Now look at this. See? You see what happened? Sorry. Okay. Look at this. You see what price did here? Price tried to jump in, tried to break this zone. It couldn't. It tried here, it couldn't, tried here. And what happened eventually was that it was able to break it. It was able to break it easily. I mean, break this particular support and resistance line or resistance line and went up. Now, what that means is that the zone where it broke from, hold on, please. The zone it broke from became a demand zone. Where it broke from became a demand zone. Where it broke from became a demand zone. The base of that big candle became a demand zone. Now, the base or the top of that candle becomes a supply zone. What does supply means? It means that from that point we expect price to start coming down. Supply zone. Remember, if it's coming all the way from up to the ground to the floor, it's supply. If it's coming all the way from down to up, it is demand. Price going from up, just like support and resistance. Price going from down to up is demand. Price coming from up to down is supply. I say that again. Price going from down to the top is demand. Price coming from top to the bottom is supply. Now, there's a difference between your demand and supply and your support and resistance lines. You know, your support and resistance lines may well be a line in the market where you have a price. Is it consolidating or meeting? You have a reversal points or where you take profits and all of that. But the demand zone make a higher level of those can I call it lines now? Demand, they are more like zones. They are they are more relevant, stronger. They offer much more probability of a trade. It gives you more success in terms of a position that you want to enter into the market. And you then, one thing that really differentiates them from support and resistance is the outbursts or the penetration of a large candle, an engulfing candle. Example, this is a demand, I mean, it's a supply zone. Why? Because as you can see, there's a large candle entering into it. There's another large candle entering into it, and there's a large candle coming out of it as well. See, a large candle is coming out of this zone. That's a sell. Remember, supply. So it's coming down here. This is another demand zone for this candle because we're expecting this one to go up. I don't want to confuse you people. It's just really, really straightforward. A large candle coming out of a zone, that zone is a demand zone. A large candle, a large bullish candle. Yeah, I should have actually keep saying that. A large bullish candle coming out of a zone makes that zone that it is coming from a demand zone. A large bearish candle coming out of a zone makes that candle, that zone is supply zone. You know what bearish candle is? Candles that are coming down. So as it's coming down, it's coming out of a particular zone or a support, or you call it a support zone. Support is floor, remember? Support is floor. So if it's coming out of a zone like this, it makes that zone that it is coming out of a supply zone. Yeah? And if it is coming down, that place that it is coming to becomes a demand zone. Demand zone, remember, bullish candle coming out of a zone is a demand zone. Bearish candle coming into that zone, yeah, is a demand zone. But if it's coming out of a particular zone, it's a supply zone. Don't worry, we'll see how this comes together. If this may be confusing to you for now, but don't worry, it will all come together very soon. Now, how do I trade this supply and demand zone? How do I trade it? Now, the rule says that every time a candle comes out of a zone, say a bullish candle comes out of the demand zone, it's always going to come back and test that demand zone. It's going to come back and do a test of that demand zone before either jumping back up, either testing it or breaking it through. But whenever it goes up, it will definitely come back to that zone. So either break it or test it and go back up. It's always going to do that. That is what the rule says. Yeah. So the same thing happens for a supply zone. If a supply, if the bearish candle leaves a supply zone, it's always going to come back to that zone, either to break it or to test it and keep falling. You will see that happen everywhere. Like for instance, look at this. This went up, right? It rallied, it jumped, and finally came back to that zone before finally jumping back up again. Yeah. You see that? And then if you look at this as well, this jumped out of this zone, and what did it do? Immediately, it went back to that zone before finally coming back down. You see? I give you another one that is bigger. Let me see. This one is a bigger one. See this one. Insert. Let's insert shapes. Yeah. Look at this one. Look at what happened here. It broke out of this zone. What did you see it do? It rallied and rallied and rallied and came back to that zone. I did a little bit of stop hunt, but finally, what did you see it do? It dropped. So it will always break out, then come back, test that zone, and then drop. Now look at this one again. Let me show you another one. Look at this one. It broke out of that demand zone. Remember, it broke out and then went up, rallied and rallied and rallied. What did it do? It finally came back to that zone and then jumped. Normally, so we expect it to jump up. Now look at that jump. It jumped all the way up here. So if all you trade is supply and demand zone, you're good. You have nothing to fear. I give you another example. I don't. I'm going to take questions. Let me just go through it now. Look at this one as well. What did it do? It jumped out of this zone. Yeah, it went up. Now some people would say it will never come back down again, but look at what it did. I'm just going to keep pulling this till I get to the next zone. No, I didn't want to reverse. Okay, all right. Let's just keep going. See what it did? It kept going up. It kept going up. Kept going up. Kept going up. We never thought it was ever going to come down. And what did you guys see? See? Look at where it is at, which is where. Okay, I would answer that. I will answer that. Now look at what it did. Did you see? Which is where I have my own buy limit at. I have my buy limit at this because look at what price came all the way. It jumped out of this, then finally came all the way back down, and I'm expecting it to come back down here. Because even if you wanted to look at this candle, even if you don't want to look at that candle, you wanted to look at this candle, which is the next demand zone. Look at what happened. It jumped out, it rallied and came back to that zone. So it can jump up from here now. It can do that jump from here before finally, if it's going to come back down again, which I believe it will, before finally coming back to this zone. Now, supply and demand zone can work for any time frame, but it's much more advisable and accurate to use the higher time frames. Why bother with the 1 pips and 2 pips? And if this can give you 30, 40, even 100 pips, because it's quite powerful. That's what it does. Now, this is basically this. I would say that if you want to learn swing trading, this is a good tool for you to use to learn swing trading and do your micros. For the past few days, I've just been doing swing, and it has been paying. It has really been paying. So I'll put in the 0.01. At the end of the day, I'm going on maybe 50 with 60, doing 0.01. Imagine if I was doing 0.1 because I was testing things out, So you can do it on the smaller time frame. Let me take you to the view to time frames. So take you to the 1 hour time frames. Look at this example. Because a typical, another example. Okay, this is a zone. Okay, okay, let me just keep that zone and see what happens. This is already a zone. I don't need to draw that again. This blue is already a zone. Let's see what happens. Where's my F12? Okay, see? Let me see how far this will go. You see? Up, jumping. Come on, come on. Don't fail me now. Oh, see that jump. Where are you? Okay. It broke gave another demand zone. Let me see how far this is gonna go. Hope I'm still in the right place. Are we back up? Later soon. Follow me. Let's see. Let's see where this takes me to. It's really been jumping. Hold on. Let me confirm I'm not jumping. Oh. Oh, I think it. Oh, okay. It actually did come up. Oh, okay. Fantastic. Oh, it had come up. Now, this is where were we? I was here, right? We were here. Now, look at what happened. I was here, right? This is where we found demand, I mean, the supply zone. Yep. Or the demand zone, sorry. Because price came to that point. Let me bring this down. Or probably create a different one. Create a new one. So that not to confuse us. So this is where we're looking at. This is where we are. Hold on. This yellow. So this is the zone. Oh, sorry. Went here. Yeah, this is where we are. Yeah, it broke out of this zone. So this was the supply zone. So we're waiting for it to come back to that zone. And what did it do? Did it come back there or not? Yes, it did. It came back to that zone. Come back. See? It jumped out of that zone. What did it do? It rallied and rallied and rallied and came back to that zone. Yeah? So if you wanted to trade, demand this particular zone, this is how I would trade this. I would enter my shape. I mean, I would enter my market, my trade at this point. Yeah, at this place where it rallied, where it has that consolidation. Then ride it. It will bring me back up here. Yeah, I had some stop hunts on this side, but then it came back to its place. Yeah, that's just one example. Other examples, let me see if I can find something else on the smaller time frame. This is a typical example again. A typical example. It broke out of this zone, and what did it do? Jumped up, and what did it do? It came back to it. Uh, this was a bad one because what happened? It went really down before jumping, coming back up again. Yeah. So this is another one. Yeah. It broke out of this zone. Where is it? This is another big one. This is on the smaller time frames. Smaller time frames. Did they come back there? Yeah, I would say, well, it didn't really come down. So this would have been a very bad one anyway. Now, but to be honest, really, this, like I said, not all of all of the time it will give you what you want, 100%. But yeah, most of the time it would deliver on its promise. It went, and it finally came back to that point where it came out from, before finally rallying back up. It will always give you that a jump, a pullback, or a drop, and then a rally. It will always give you back that. Sometimes, now one of the other things that it does, forgot to mention as well, apart from just giving you jump and rally, it can give you a drop. It can give you, where is it? A drop. It can give you a drop, give you a base, and then give you a rally. Yeah, gives you a base, a drop, a base, a rally. It can give you, that's one thing it can give you. It can give you a drop. It can give you a base, then another drop or continuation. And this happens on even on the bullish side of things, I mean the bearish side of things. A rally, a base, and then a drop. It happens on the bullish side of things, happens on the bearish side of things. The same thing. A rally, a base, and then a jump or continuous rally. So Remember what we said, that we only trade patterns. So what you're looking at for in the market is that example, that rally, that base, and that drop, or a rally, a base, and a rally. You probably may be looking for that. You might, some people may see something similar to flags, what we do when we trade flags. We have that drop, that pole, we have that that base or that flag, and then a drop. The same thing happens. We have that pole, we have that flag, and then we have that continuation. You may see that patterns, which is exactly what we do when we trade as well. Trade flag patterns. A typical example is this one. You know, this, there, then that. Don't know why my MT4 is not responding. Okay, that move, and then that jump. The same thing, we can see that here too with that one. That one, and then that jump to the upside. So they're all patterns. Now, so if, like I said, if you're trading it, what you're really looking for in the market is where price jumps out with a full force. So once that happens, know that it's definitely going to come back down. So when it comes back down, that is where you want to enter the market. You enter the market at that point where it comes back down, and then ride it up. Take your 10 pips, take your 20 pips. You don't have to wait till it gives you 50 pips before you jump out of the market. You don't have to wait till it gives you 50 pips. Let me draw that F11 again so I can pick. You know, for instance, this one now, I would have, if I entered here, would have taken my 20 pips and gotten out. Like I said, I don't have to wait till the market gives me 100 or 1,000 pips. The pattern is compounding interest, compounding interest, compounding interest. I said I was going to show us this. So if I'm doing 2% daily or 3% daily or even 5% daily, let me just be very, all I need is just 10 pips. I go with my one lot size and take 50 pounds. I'm out of the market. Then I do that continuously. All I'm doing is just 10 pips. 10 pips is all I'm doing. I'm not doing more than 10 pips. So this would be more than enough for me. This would be more than enough for me. It's 26 pips. So I see a jump. Anytime I see a jump, I see this happen. Where is it now? I see a jump. I'm okay, sorry, the other side. I see a jump to the downside. Then I sit on my hands like Oran, my guy, would say. Sit on your hands and let the market come back to that zone, because this is a zone. Once it jumps out of it, that is a zone. Once it comes back to that zone, I enter my sell again, because when I entered my sell, what did I get out of that market from that point that it got to? I got my 12 pips or 17 pips, and I'm looking for 10 pips, before it finally went up. Yeah. So I see another. Basically, what I'm looking for is just a come back to the zone so that I can trade it. A come back to the zone so I can trade it. I see one here, it dropped, it came back there, and I entered the trade. It dropped, it came back there, and I entered the trade. How much? 16 pips. Or if I wanted to stay longer, look at this. I remember, like I always say, your trailing stop is your friend. Your trailing stop is your friend. Trading stop loss is your friend. You can enter the market, and then when you pick up your 10 pips, put the trailing stop to it and watch it ride, which is what we did for GU today. We entered the market when it gave us 20, 30, 40 pips, entered the trailing stop, and it kept going. It kept going. But eventually brought some people out of it. But though it initially brought people out, some people that jumped back in took 100 plus pips. But then you need to be able to understand the way the market works. Yeah. But like I said, I am more confident of using this on a higher time frame, starting from the H4 upwards. I used to be afraid of the what was it called? I used to be afraid of the daily time frames, but I'm more confident in trading them, daily trading these days because of this strategy and the one I'm going to teach you next. So look at this. It rallied down, it came back up. Let me see how many pips this gave. This small move here. Okay, this gave 12 pips. Like I said, if you're following the compounding interest, if you're following the compounding interest strategy, you do not need more than 10 pips. All you want in the market is 10 pips. And once you have your 10 pips, put your trailing stop loss if you want to have more. And then you can write it down. But even if it comes back and takes you out of the market, you have secured your 10 pips so that you can you can increase your lot sizes when your account builds up. That is all you're looking for, 10 pips. Another example here. What did it do? It dropped. It came back to that zone. And what did it give me eventually? 107 pips. 107 pips. But this didn't. I wouldn't. I wouldn't even want to stay in the market this long anyway. Why? Because I'm looking for 10 pips. I have a goal. You know, unless I use my stop loss, Australian stop loss. You know. Okay. Do we have any question on this side? Let me see. Let me take questions. Do you have any questions? You can unmute yourself and ask your questions. It's all practice. You may not get it on the first attempt. It's all practice. You have questions?
Hey, Mike. Chinelo.
Okay. Hi, Chinelo. Welcome. Come back.
Yeah, I was sitting down here waiting for the time I snoozed off, so I don't know when you started. I just
Okay.
wanted to ask, did you record? I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, yeah. I'm recording. I'm recording.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So now, um, I have this is another one example. Another example, like I said, it um jumps up, comes back to that zone, and then went 27 pips or 30 pips, and went even further, 60 something pips. Yeah. Another example. This is another example. It went up. It came back to that zone the same within the same 4 hours. And then finally, oh well, this one actually, this was a bad, this would have been a loss because I probably would have put my stop loss. Now, which brings us back to the issue of stop loss. Now, my stop loss, like I said, I know that a lot of us need to use stop loss and everything. Yes, I know that we need to do that. For personally, I don't always use it, but I don't advise you to use to not to use stop loss. I don't advise you not to use stop loss because like this particular trade, this would have been this if you didn't have enough money in your account, this would have been um not a very good if you didn't have enough money, it would have kicked you out. Although it came back to where it's supposed to be, came back and but it wouldn't have been a very good trade. Now, stop loss, this is where you put your stop loss. Zones, if a particular zone is broken, it means it's gonna go to the next zone. It can be into one of two things. Either it's a stop hunt or it's gonna go to the next zone. The reversal is going to that next zone. Now look at this for example. If I if if I was trading this, you see it jumped in, it came from this part, making this my um, supply zone. I made this my supply zone. I was expecting this to come into this zone. Now, if I wasn't very if I didn't have if my stop loss was very tight, this would have kicked me out of the trade. If my stop loss was very tight, this would have kicked me out of the trade because look at what it did. It jumped up 15 pips before doing what? Before finally dropping a massive 155 pips. So normally, this is how you put your stop loss. If you find a zone like that, yeah, be generous with that zone. Be generous with it. So you could do this and make your stop loss somewhere around here, probably some pips away from the highest or the lowest, the highest or the lowest candle, previous candle. This was the highest for me. So I just give it a little space, a wiggle room here, you know. This would be my stop loss, then I would trade it. Yeah. So another, let me see another example. This is another example. Let's say I was trading this. I see all of this. I would give my stop loss around this area here. Why? Because this was the lowest this candle went to. For this particular zone that I'm working on, this was the lowest. So my stop loss would be around this area. Sure enough, when it came, it didn't really come that far before it finally jumped up. Let me see another example. So if now this would have been a, a bad one, I would say. No, not necessarily, because let me see. What did it do? Yeah, this would have been a bad one because this was my highest candle in this zone was this guy. So my stop loss would have been here, and then when it dropped, it came back, and what did it do? Sure enough, it kicked me out because it went back up. You know. Now, the one of the other things you can do is if you get kicked out of a stop loss, then it means that okay, probably it's giving you an indication that it's going to do a reversal, it's going to go back, start going the other way. So you may want to, what you can also do is to either enter that zone, ride it to the top. For instance, if this was coming and I got kicked out, I probably will have entered in for a buy so that I can ride it up, take a few pips from where, because I know it's probably will have taken me out maybe like 10 pips or 20 pips. Then I will ride it up and get that back. You can do that if you're an aggressive trader and you even know what you're doing. But if you're a conservative trader, just if it kicks you out of your trade, don't enter again until you get another entry, another confirmation to enter the trade again. Yeah. So this would have been my stop loss, the highest candle on that in that zone. The same thing with which one again? This one again. This one too would have been a bad one. I put this here. Would I probably would have put my stop loss in this area? My stop loss will have been in this area because this was my you know lowest candle. So I would have just traded it when it would have come in and then kicked me out. Yeah, but sure enough, look at what it did. After it kicked me out, it came back. It came down. How many pips before finally? Yeah, came down, whooping 77 pips. So that's rule of jumping in if you get out of your stop loss, so as to write it down. Also apply so you don't lose altogether. Let me see if I can find another one. See if I can find another one. Okay. I think I've looked at this one. Have I looked at this one? Okay, this is an example. Another one. The zone was here. Yeah, quite all right. So I expected this to jump in. Expected this to bring me, come here and fall back. But what did it do? It didn't. It kicks me out of my stop loss position. Yep, kicked me out of, sure enough, it kicked me out of my stop loss position and went up how many pips? Went up a whooping 27 pips, or yeah, 30 pips. Even kept going anyway. But I would have been out of the market anyway at this point. So now you win on both ways. If it reverses against you, you enter back into the trade and ride either the downside or the upside, depending on when it reverses against you. But if it doesn't, then it's definitely going to come back down to meet your take profit or wherever you wanted to, the market, the next zone was supposed to be. Yeah. So two things you're looking for in the market, or one thing that you're really, really looking for in the market, a large candle. A large candle, it has to be larger than the other candles around them. Like these ones are small, so this is a large candle. So if you find that large candle, once you find it, draw a zone either up or down, depending on where it is coming from. If it's coming from down, then it's a demand zone. That down where it is coming from, it's a demand zone. Yeah, down is the demand zone. Then where it gets to, the demand zone. Where it gets to before it begins to rally or before it begins to pull back would be your likely target, or you can call that your supply zone. I can call this my first supply zone, either here, or I could still take it up because the first red candle I saw was here. You know, this can be my target, or somewhere here, or even here where I have my double candle, which really shows my pullback. So this can, the whole of this from here to this part can be um my next supply zone, or my take profit target area. Yeah, so it can be that. Let me see. Do we have any question at all? Do you have any question? This is which trade, which particular one was which? Okay, this is UJ.
Hey Mike, I just have a question. Sometimes I like when you're doing it in its previous
Mm.
time, I can see it. I can clearly see it. But when it comes to current, I sometimes I struggle. So are you able to pull up a trade that's going right now
Yes,
that
this is
where
an
you would be able to give us an example?
this is an example of the one I showed us earlier when I started. Now look at this trade. Uh, where is it? This is an example of a trade. I was trading. Everyone saw it this morning. Um, Even in fact, I was telling J Rock about it because I was telling him this is where it's coming to. He refused to believe me. sure enough, and sure enough, they were buying when I was selling. So this is an example of that kind of trade. I saw it because I'd already marked it days ago. Two demand zones. Let me see. Was it this one I used? Let me see. Okay, this is the one I was using. Yeah, this is the one I was using. It was here, and I'd marked. I saw this particular candle, and I knew this is going to come back here and rally up. And sure enough, it went up. It rallied up. Yeah, and then when it started falling, I knew it was coming because I looked back. Or remember what Linda always say: always look left. Look left. Hold on, 11. What did I see on this side? I saw
Mike,
this giant
Mike, sorry, enlarge your screen. Is freezing. Like, and
freezing.
what? Yeah, it's not clear. I don't know. I don't I don't I don't think it's just me, but the screen
Uh,
is full and is not clear.
let me see. Okay, hold on. That's weird. Maybe I need to enlarge the charts. It's just that I'm not using my bigger screen. My wife is using the other computer. Is this big enough?
It's still the same size.
Ah, okay. Hold on. Do I need now? What do I need? What do I need? Yes. Um, okay. Is this big enough?
Yeah,
Is it
yeah,
okay?
that's what it was before. Yeah,
It's better now.
yeah, it's better. Thanks.
Okay. All right. So what I'm trying to look for in this. Okay, hold on. Hopefully, I find what I'm looking for. I'm just gonna close all of this. Okay. Okay. So this, you see, this was an example of a trade that I saw. Okay. Yeah. Look at this large candle. You see one here. You see another one here. Yeah. This was what I saw. I saw this first one. Okay. I saw this first one initially. I was really looking for a a buy limit from here because I knew it was definitely gonna come back. I didn't know how long it's gonna take, but I was waiting for it. So I didn't really see this one until I saw the market action. consolidating at this point. Then I had my buy limit at this point. Now this is an example of a market that did that rally, then it came back to it. This is a live example because this was where it was this morning or thereabout before it did that jump down here, and this is a supply zone. This is a demand zone because of this large candle. It came back to that zone that we thought it was going to come back to, all the way back. And I'm still sure it's going to come back all the way down to this next one. Why? Because this is our next demand zone. Why? Because of this large candle. Because of this large candle that came out of this place. This is a live trade. And that's why, if you noticed, if you took the trade with us this morning, you'd this was the last minute trade that I gave to Dr. Cassie. Where is it? Okay. So I was like, can I give you one more UJ on his sell? Immediately I said it, 8:51 my time. Everyone jumped in, and I think they jumped in at this point. And this was that move. And if you look at this, this is a large candle on this side as well. Let me increase that. This is a large candle. What zone is this going to be? What zone is this? Please don't fail me.
That's
yeah, there are only two. There are only two. So if you mention one and it's wrong, so it's either one or the other. So if you mention one and it's wrong, it means you're wrong. So you have to be careful before you give me an answer. Is it a supply zone or a demand zone?
The demand zone.
This is a demand zone. Why is it a demand zone?
Because the bearish candle shut up.
What happened? It shut up. Did this go up or come down? What does bearish candles do?
Oh, sorry. Are you talking about are you talking about the yellow one or the blue one?
You missed it. No, I meant here now. I meant here. This is the one I just created. Here, this yellow one here. I just created this one. So this is a supply zone. You missed it. It's either one or the other. Now I'm going to ask another one. What zone is this one?
That's the demand zone.
Why is it a demand zone?
Because the bullish went up there.
Oh, you missed it. You got it as a demand zone. Got it as a demand zone. Now remember,
which candle are you talking about? Zone is a supply zone.
Why is it supply zone?
Okay, because
it could be supply.
Wait now, I think you know. Wait now.
That's what I want her to explain. Why is it a supply zone?
Yeah.
Okay, because it's a bearish candle.
Yes,
it's a bearish candle, and it's leaving because it's leaving that zone in a bearish way. It's a supply zone.
Oh God, I did not teach it properly. Okay, let me explain it again. Just give me yourself one more time. Let me explain it again.
When a full bearish candle, sorry.
Okay, let me explain it again. Now, if a candle, listen, a candle, this bearish candle, see the direction of this candle. This is the direction of this candle. Down. That is what this candle does. This is the direction of this candle. Up. Yeah, we got it up to that point, I would presume. Now, if a candle leaves this point and goes up, it's a bullish candle. And this point where it is leaving, it's a demand zone.
Is it?
Demand. Yeah. Hold on. It's a demand. Why? Because it is leaving it from the ground, going up. Demand is going up. Supply is coming down. So a candle that is leaving a particular zone that is coming down, that zone where it is leaving from is a supply zone. Okay, or let me give it to you in terms of support and resistance. Supply is resistance, and demand is support. Supply is resistance, and demand is support. So, in a layman's language, this is demand. Yeah. Now, this candle is coming from here. This is demand, right? This is where your demand zone is. This is where your support is. Your demand is your support, and your supply is your resistance. Take it again. Your demand is your support, and your supply is your resistance. Demand, price is going from that support zone or support area or support zone, or from the ground or from the floor, is going up. So that makes that zone a demand zone. Price is coming from top. Price is coming from top. Maybe I should change the color of the candles. I mean, of the, so that maybe that should be able to. Okay, excuse me. I use blue. Yeah.
The color
So,
is okay, Mike.
okay. So price is coming from the resistance. That resistance is supply. Supply. Price is coming from the support. That support is demand. Are we cool? Support down here, which is demand. Resistance up here, which is supply. Are we okay with that?
Yes, I am okay with that.
Tanisha, what say you?
Yeah, I'm okay. I'll be in and out. I'm working with my patient.
Okay, no problem, no problem. So if price is leaving a zone and it's a bullish candle, so bullish are the ones that go up. Bulls go up. So it is leaving a demand zone. Bearish is the one that comes down. It is leaving a supply zone. It is leaving a supply zone. Now, when it is coming down, the zone that it is going into is what? Demand zone. Why? Because that is where this bull is leaving from.
Started
And
from. Yeah.
yes, and that is where we're expecting. And we say that demand is going up. Demand is going up. So it is coming to a place. It's going to a place where it's going to turn back up. It's coming to a place where it's going to turn back up. Now that makes it a demand zone. Now, if it is going up to a zone, it's going to a place where it's going to turn back down from. That makes it a supply zone. Yeah, and also because that candle, this candle here is leaving that zone, which is a supply zone. So a supply zone is a zone where if a bullish candle enters into, it will come down from. A demand zone is a zone where if a bearish candle goes into, it's going to turn back from. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So now, what is this zone then? Without the colors.
This is supply zone.
This is a supply zone. Fantastic. So what is this zone?
Yeah.
It's still supply.
Jesus is Lord, oh God. Why is it supply? I thought this guy was leaving this zone to come down. A zone where it gets into, remember, that is going to go back from. It's a demand zone. It's coming down to a zone. It's not going up from that zone. It is a bearish candle coming down. It has left the supply zone going to the next zone. So as it's coming down, its head is going to be on the demand area. Why? Because we are expecting this candle to do what? To go back up. Yeah? The same thing with this guy here. It's coming from a demand zone. When it gets up there, what is it going to meet? Supply. Why? Because we're expecting it to come back down.
Yes.
The same thing with this guy. You see what it means? So the same thing with here. What is this doing? It's coming down. So it's leaving a supply zone and it's going to where? A demand zone. Why? Because we're expecting it when it gets to that zone, it will go back up.
Okay.
Yep.
So the demand zone prepares the candle to go up.
It's going to reverse at that zone to go back up. It's going to reverse at that zone to go back up. Now look at that one we looked at. That drop. that base, that's an example of that pattern, and then that rally.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what zone would
Okay.
this be? What zone would this be?
This is a demand zone.
Fantastic. Why? Because the thing is coming here and it's turning back, and even because this
Yeah.
guy is jumping off from here, so price is leaving this place, and going up. So that's a demand zone, and price is coming all the way from this place, it's coming down to that zone. That's a demand zone. So you can either look at it from the bearish head coming in. If the bearish head is coming to that zone, then it's a demand. Now, if the bullish bomb or buttocks is coming out of that
Yeah.
zone, that's a demand. So anywhere you want to
Yeah.
look at it. Capish?
Okay. Capiche. So if you are entering this trade now, where will you enter? Where will you put a buy limit or?
I will put a buy limit at this zone. This anywhere here.
Okay.
Why? Because this is
Okay.
where this
All
thing
right.
is coming in. Why? Because I want it to go back up. And my next take profit will
Okay.
be the head here. The head here will be my next take profit. And
Okay.
how many pips that I've given
And
me?
if it breaks that zone, you put like a stop loss of maybe 10 pips below
Yes,
in case it goes down.
I'll put my stop loss down the lowest. So look at where my stop loss will be.
Candle. All right.
Yeah. No, sorry.
Okay.
The stop loss will be the other way around. Sorry. Because why? If I believe that this was going to do this and jump down, right? If I believe that this was going to do this and jump down, I'll put my stop loss here. Right? But if I believe that this was going to do a drop, a rally, and go back up, then I'll put my stop loss here. So always the highest can do either up or down.
Okay, Mike, hold on. So your stop loss, you're putting it on. Let's say you decided to put a limit. That's
I'll put yes.
Buy limit price. So the next candle behind it, you put your stop loss at the base.
Yes. If I was supposed to do the lowest candle, if I was to do a buy limit here, for instance, my stop loss would be here because this is the lowest candle. Below, just a few pips below it will be my stop loss. Why? Because I expect it to roll back up. But if it doesn't roll back up, it means it's going to come down. So I'm going to take a little loss. But then I'll watch for it to see if I can ride it a little bit down and take back what it's taken from me.
That is, you're watching the trade.
Yeah, I'm watching the trade. Yeah. Now, before I continue, I'm going to come back to this one. Let me just jump into the next strategy, and I'm going to trade that one live. Trade that strategy live because it's already time for that trade to occur. It's the trade. I'm naturally supposed to trade that trade on a where is this? Let me bring this down. I'm supposed to trade this trade on the 11:00 or the 12 midnight or 00 candle of my. Okay, this is where I'm supposed to trade it. So it's supposed to be on my 00 of my broker time. Isn't every broker that you have on the 00 of that broker time is where this strategy is good for. Yeah, that is where this strategy is good for. So you go to your daily chart. Yes, go to your daily chart and identify like your LBO. Now, what you can do for me, please, can you just help me mute yourself so that I will just show you, walk it through, since I'm still recording. Okay, so what I'm looking for in this trade is to find the 00 of that candle on the 1 hour chart. I find the 00 of that broker time on the 1 hour chart. 00, which is this 12 midnight or whatever the broker time is saying. Then I go to my 1 hour chart. I already identified it. So I look for my previous candle of that, just like the LBO that we do. It's just like the LBO that we do. I look for the previous candle. This is the previous candle. So I'm looking for the high and the low of these candles. I'm looking for the high and the low of that candle. What I want to ensure is that the candle is at least 100 pips. Let me see how many pips. oh, this is more than 200 pips, which is good. The higher the size of the candle, the better it is for me. Yeah. So this
Sorry,
DA
like
candle
you said day or
is a daily chart.
hour.
I'm on a
Okay.
daily chart. So first of all, I identify the 000 of that broker time. First of all, then I go to my daily chart and then look for it. So I already have my line drawn there, right? So I look for the remember it takes 1 day to form every one of this candle on a daily chart. It takes 1 day to form every one
Yes.
of this candle on a daily chart. I
Mm-hmm.
look for this candle. Wait. Remember, mute yourself,
Mm.
mute yourself. I look for this candle, this previous day's candle, and I ensure that
Yeah.
it is at. Please, would you can you mute yourself? Just mute yourself. Yeah, just mute yourself. Why? Because I'm
Oh,
really
sorry.
recording, and I don't want this thing to for the people that are going to be listening to it eventually. So I want to make sure that this candle is at least 100 pips. 100 pips, meaning from here to here should be 100 pips. Or if I have the time, remember that tool I asked you, data window, you click on that and then you mouse over that. Your high, the difference between your high and your low must be at least 100 pips. Must be at least 100 pips. If I have identified that candle that this is what it is. Now, the next thing I need to do is what we do when we want to trade LBU. I pick up my tool. I want to do a standard. No, I can't do a standard on this one. Was it this one I was working on? Okay, let me do a let me see. Let me just do a mini on it. It's fine. I do a pending order, buy stop, the same thing that we do when we do my billions LBU. But this one, instead of doing 10 pips above, I do 5 pips above. But then I don't necessarily I don't use this. I use the calculations itself so as to be more accurate. So I go on that candle. I look for my high. What is my high? My high is 1.76676. I have to add 5 pips to that. And how do I add 5 pips? I add 5 pips to the 7, to that number 7. Remember that you always add, omit the last number, then add whatever you want to add to the number after that. So 5 pips added to this one will be 5 plus 7 is 12. So my entry price will be 1.7. Let's look at that again. 1.76 726, 1.76726, 1.76726. Why? Because I added 5 to 67. I got 72, isn't it? So for 1.76726 will be my entry price. And because, don't worry, I'm going to teach this again. I'm actually, just because I want to trade it, that's why I'm just taking it this fast. I'm going to teach it again. And because my candle is greater than 100 pips, this candle is much more than 100 pips, my stop loss is going to be in the middle. My stop loss is going to be in the middle. What is my middle? The difference between the middle of votes, the high or low. I don't necessarily need to have an accurate number, so I could just look at it by eyes and put the candle in the middle. So what do I have here? 1.75722. 1.75722. That's what I'm going to do. 1.75722. I won't my take profit. They said it's 100 pips, 100 pips, 100 pips. But then I like to keep it open, because all I need in this strategy is 12 hours before I check it again. I need 10 minutes or thereabout to 5 to 10 minutes to put in the trade. Then between 12 hours, I can check it between 12 hours. I don't need to stay with the trade all day. So I can place that one in. Oops, what happened? Buy stop. Okay, I think is it 5 pips already? Let me see. If it's already 5 pips, then that will happen. Okay, I think it's because it's already moved 5 pips. That's it. 1.76726, 1.76726. Into that again. 67.5. Yeah, is it not 72? Let me see how far it's moved. Stop loss here, accurate. Okay, I think it's because it's already moved. That's why I'm having that issue. So, but what I can do is to enter it at market price. I will look for another one that I will not enter at market price. I will enter this as a buy because it's already moved. It's supposed to be on the dot 10 o'clock, but since I was still teaching, I must have missed it. Yeah, must have missed it. So look at my stop loss is there, and my entry price is there as well. I'm going to try that I do that for GA. I'm going to try that for GU as well. Those are the trades that I use this for. My 12 o'clock candle. Go to my daily charts. Go to my daily chart. Don't worry, I'm going to take time and teach you the same way I did the other ones. Open. Try my penny order. Hopefully this hasn't really moved. My buy stop here. I'm supposed to do a sell stop for the other guy as well, but because market has already moved to the buy side, so I just decided to just leave it. So this candle, the high of this candle is 1.42616, which would be 1.42666. It's a weird number. 1.42666.42666. My stop loss. Why this candle? Let me see how large this candle is. Oh, this one too is equally large. 200 plus. 200 plus. I can look for the middle of this candle. So I can just do this. Sorry. Yeah, why not? No, why not? Sorry. So what am I looking for? My stop loss is 1.41229. Then I place my order. So this one is fine because it hasn't gotten up 5 pips yet. Yep. So it's still there. The other trade I like to look for is GJ. Oh no, before that, I'm gonna do a sell stop for that one as well. So I come here, my pending order, my sell stop. What am I looking for? I'm looking for the low of this candle, which is 1.39958. 1.39958. What am I looking for? 1.39108. 1.39108. 1.39108. Yep.
Mike, I'm sorry for the noise, and I know you're moving fast, but did you want to do 0.10? The first one you did 0.01.
I wanted to do point. Yeah, I did 0.01. Yeah, 0.01. Yep.
Okay, because on the GA you did 0.10.
No. Yeah, I did 0.10. Yeah, both of them 0.10. Both. Look at it. Say the
okay.
GA was 0.10. Yeah, they're all because it's only £1,000 account, so that's why. Yeah, but I'm going to show you an example of the one I did on the other accounts that I use standards on them. Yep. But after I might have, let me just finish this one. Then my stop loss as well in the middle, the same place I had the other stop loss because it's larger than 100 pips. So I'm going to put my stop loss. I'm going to tell you all of this, what needs to be done. I'm going to tell it to you. So that's done. My GA is done. My GU, in short, let me just stop at GU since it's just GU and GA. It's done. So I expect this market to move up and come down and be in profit. Now, look at an example of the trade I did. Market watch, I think that's the one. Now look at this is an example of the trades I did with them. Yep, this one, and this one was this morning. At the same time on this particular account, what did it do? Standards. This gave 1,000 plus. This gave 400 plus. This was a losing trade. I didn't mind because these two won it. Now I did it again with GA. I did it with GU. GU gave more than this, but because I was really looking for 100 pips, it's supposed to give you 100 pips. but it gave more than 56 pips. So I didn't mind. I just closed it. But the idea is to ensure that you come back to the next trading day, which is another 0.0. I mean 00. That's the 12 midnight time of your broker, your 12 midnight time of your broker. By the time you get back there, that is when you're taking profit and entering the next trade. So get the full pips if it's going to give you 100 or whatever it's going to give you. But it's not rocket. It's not set on a rock. You can decide to take your profit 2 hours, 3 hours after you enter the trade. If you see the outcome of you see the profit that you want, if you see the 10 pips you want or the 20 pips you want. But this strategy is supposed to give you 100 pips a day. 100 pips a day. This is what this strategy is supposed to do. 100 pips a day. Now, I got up to 80 plus on this account. I didn't have any trading stop. I just wanted to see what it's going to do. But by 10 o'clock, or 10 o'clock my time, that's 12 midnight broker time, it came down to 56. So I just took that and got out and entered the next position. The other one I entered, where is it? GA. This one got up to 90. This one got up to 90 before it finally came down. This one didn't really move so much. It gave I think it gave about 10 or thereabout, and came down to 4. But since I waited and waited for the 100, it didn't give. It came back to 39. I took it and entered the next position. Let me see if I did any other one. Yes, I did another one. GA. I did these 2 trades for GA. This got to 90. This got to 90 as well, about 89 or thereabouts. But I didn't take it because I was waiting for the 100 pips. But by the time I was ready to take it, it came back to this number. So it's for the few days that I've tried it, you've tried this week, it's been winning. It's been winning, except today where this was a loss on this JPY. I don't know why JPY did that, but it was a massive win for GU and what's it called, and GA. You can see this gave more than 100 pips. This gave 400 plus pips. Yeah. So that's the strategy. This is the strategy. What I'm going to do, I'm going to teach you. I'm going to teach you again. After I've taught you what to do based on my explanation and everything, I'm going to send you the documents or the book I learned it from, so that you can use that as more knowledge for you. I'm going to take care of each and every one of us on this platform. When every other person is saying that they are going to become millionaires, we on the My Billions group are going to be calling ourselves billionaires. That's what I'm talking about.
Thumbs up.
My wife is super excited.
Oh, that was your wife? I thought for a second that was Venetia.
That was my wife on the other side. Anyways, so that's the thing. Now you have the flag pattern that is a winner. You have the LBO, My Billions LBO, that's a winner. I know Chinelo and myself and Uju, we've really been milking LBO for the past how many days, and we've been seeing the outcome. It's a massive winning strategy. It does what it says it's gonna do.
I love LBO, but I think I'm gonna love this one too.
This one is really good because it's like, I think this one is like the boss of LBO. It does the same process, But then I have to warn you, it's because it's a swing trade. Not swing trade, it's a day trade, if you will. You may encounter some drawdowns. That is why with this strategy, you don't sit in front of your computer. You don't stay in front of the computer at all, so that you don't let the emotions get you clicking things and getting out of the market when you're not supposed to. Let it work. Come back every 12 hours. Go and do other things. Do whatever you want to do. Build your business. Do whatever you want to do. Come back 12 hours to see what the market is doing. So
I need the Holy Spirit to do that one. I need the Holy Spirit.
I know it's not everything. So once you're coming back after 12 hours, what are you coming back after 12 hours to do? You're coming back either to move your stop loss to take profit, to secure your whatever pips you want to secure, so that you let the rest run. Or if you come back and see that it's a massive loss, you can decide by yourself, okay, this one, I know this is going to be a reversal, and then I get out of it. It's like every strategy. It's not going to give you 100%. Look at this one. This didn't give me. If I traded only JPY, this would have happened to me. Sometimes. So
Mm.
if you have a standard that you want to put on your a one trade, what I would advise you do is break it down into 3 places or 4 places. 4 places, so that if no matter what happens, you can still win. All of the pairs won't give you what they are all supposed to give you. I wanted to just concentrate on GA. I wanted to concentrate on GA, but I think on Tuesday or thereabout, GA didn't really it didn't really move. Or was it today? Yeah, GA didn't move today. Did it move? Oh yeah, eventually came out and moved because it started so slow. This was the first one that jumped into the market. This started so slow,
Yeah,
but
it was slow,
very,
but
very slow.
it finally picked up.
I entered this on market execution the same way I entered the other one because I tried to enter, but I was too late. I entered 30 minutes late. I saw that, so I just entered on market execution. But this one, it took a long time before getting into the market. So you want to spread your risk. Like the scripture says, spread your waters, your bread upon the waters. After many days,
Cast your bread upon the waters.
There goes, you preach it. Mike has been reading too much forex. He's forgotten his own.
Scripture.
So what I'm trying to say is this strategy, you don't have to sit down on your computer all every day. I mean, all throughout the 24 hours. Just set it and leave it. Set it and leave it. 12 minutes, 10 minutes, you get it out there, you get all the things that you need to do, get it out there, then come back after 12 hours, after 10 to 12 hours, come back and check what's happening. So like, remember what I said, the ultimate is to make money. The ultimate is to make money, and making money involves compounding interest. For me, that is my strategy. Compounding interest is the way to go. Forget the 10,000 pounds challenge, 100,000 pounds challenge, 1 million pounds challenge. Forget that. Everyone has different goals.
Realistic.
Because a lot of times you realize that you can't get consistency in these challenges. You won't get it. Yeah, I understand we're all trying as much as possible to ensure that happens, but then you won't always get it. So why do you want to over leverage yourself? Why do you want to push your accounts? So if you're trying to do 12% daily, even the just Soros and the rest of them, they are not doing 12% daily. So that's too much on your account and on a 1,000 pounds account. If this moves against you 120 pips, trust me, that's the end. If it does that 3 or 4 times, that's the end of that account. So why wouldn't you rather do a smaller percentage and grow that? You will still make money after 90 days, after 30 days. You double your account, more than double your account. After just 3 months, what is that account going to turn into? After just 3 months, 3 months of trading, 13,000 pounds. You make an extra 12,000. From that, I don't know any business, any bank that's going to give you 13,000 pounds or $30,000 of a 1,000 investment in just 3 months. So grow gradual, put in this strategy. You have this one, you have the LBO strategy, you have the normal flag pattern that we're using, and now we're treating demand and supply. With all of these strategies put together, there's no way you can make 10 pips a day. There's no way you can get 10 pips out of the market a day, which is all you need. That is what some of the big boys are doing. 20 pips, that's all they need. Like Pamela, my very good friend Pamela, that got out of that challenge, got very successful in that challenge. Pamela is not the person that knows how to do all of the fantastic trades, using all of the indicators. She doesn't have that. But what does she have? She has capital. So when you and I are using 0.1 lot sizes, she's probably using a 5, a 6, because she has capital. And what is she looking for? The same way we're looking for 10 pips. The same way we're looking for 10 pips is the same way she's looking for 10 pips. So when she's making 5,000 pounds, you are making 5 pounds or 50 pounds. So it's a question. It's a thing of I'm going to have to. Oh yeah, Donish has lost me again.
Mike, how much do you need to have in your account to be able to do this day trade strategy?
This day trade strategy. Well, I can say that if you have
the minimum.
If you have a minute, to be honest, really, it's not for a smaller account. I would not advise. If you have a £100 account, I would not advise it. If you can have up to, okay, let's just see. Let's do it together here. If you have a minimum of £500, 500, and all you're looking for is just 10 or 3%. You don't even need to stay. You don't need to stay so long. Let me go back and test
Mm.
the stop loss that we have here. Let's see the stop loss from my entry. My stop loss. This is my entry, right?
Mm.
Mike, is it FX
Sorry.
choice? Is it FX choice you're using right
Yeah,
now? It's not
yeah. This is
GFX.
no. This is
This
FX choice.
FX.
Yes,
Okay.
this is FX choice.
I
Now,
think it's the best platform to do this on.
yeah, I use FX choice. Use FX choice. You can also use the FX. We have the stomach for all the issues that they offer. We have the stomach. So if you have, trust me, for this particular strategy, like I said, it is a day trade. Day trading means you would have to go through. Look at this big candle. This is how many pips? This is 200 pips, 200 plus pips. You see? So that means
Mm.
it's a lot of move. It's a lot of move all the way from here. That's what we're talking about. So it means you have to
Mm.
have a good amount in your account to be able to use this. So you, just in case it goes halfway, 100 pips, you won't get out. Now,
Mm.
if you're using a 0.1, 0.01 lot size, that's not bad. If you have a 500 pounds account and you're using,
Mhm.
okay, let me give you a typical example. If you have a
Very.
500 pounds account,
Micro.
you're using a micro. If it goes back against your stop loss, 113 pounds, or let's say
Mm.
110 pounds, that's only 11 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
only
Yeah.
11 pounds. But then you're looking to make out of that move, you're looking to make close to how much? 400 and 400 and, okay, let's say 450 something. That's 45 pounds. So it's not so. It's a
Mm-hmm.
good investment. So even a 100 pound account can do it. 0.01. You know,
Yeah. I was
because
Mm.
thinking
most
about
against.
that too. 0.01.
Hmm? So every strategy,
Okay.
you can do it if you have a proper risk management. Proper risk management is all, is the butter of every bread. Once you have that lockdown,
Okay.
then you don't have anything to be worried about. You can take any trade, you can do swing trade, even look at Lindos trade, 200 pounds accounts. We are doing a 200 pounds account and we're trying to grow that over 1 year. So it's actually possible, but with proper risk management. Yeah. But I'm gonna take the time to show us this strategy again. Then I'm gonna share the book. I'm gonna share the book with us so that we can, or maybe I'll just go ahead and share the book with us eventually. Then we can look at what I'm seeing and see if we
Yeah,
can
that's what I
practice.
was gonna think. I was
Mm.
just gonna say. I said gonna think. I was gonna say share the books. Let's read the
Then,
books,
so
and
just
we'll.
in case I don't have the time to go over it again, at least I know that I have that. I have give you the introduction so that you can go ahead, and because it's really straightforward. The book breaks it down. It gives you
Okay.
everything. In short, why am I even
Okay.
talking plenty? Let me see what
Ah,
I'm trying.
what do you mean? Don't talk. Oh. Which one is why are you talking plenty? Ah.
That
Okay,
he wants to talk.
okay. So this is the book. It's called Naked Forex as well. Another Naked Forex.
Oh, okay.
It's not the other naked forex,
Okay.
another kind of naked forex. So this is what just is it.
Oh.
So this is the pairs you're trading. Hmm?
Oh,
These are the
it
pairs.
has particular pairs.
Yes, it has particular pair, and they are the GBP pairs as well.
Oh.
Look at,
Okay.
and then the Mexican. If you do USD Mexican, yeah, as well. If you trade the
Mm-mm.
Mexican pair, so GBP, GBY, CAD, Chef, Odd, NCD, and that. This is what it is.
Hmm.
So now we are hoping that this gives us the ideology is all there. Look at it, tells you to enter the 0.00 or the 12 minute of your broker time. It's really straightforward. Then it will break it down what you need to do, all the things that you need to do, what candles to look for, where your stop losses should be, and all of that. All the information is on there for you. So all you need to do is just to sit down and study and study it. It tells you which one to enter,
And back test.
back test as well. See, it gives you a pictorial view of what needs to be done. It also breaks it down in candle form,
Okay.
in text format as well, and then the outcomes and everything.
Hmm.
And now it's entirely up to you to do what, to practice. I'm gonna probably send you to the group, 20 pips. I think I'm the only person in this group, 20 pips per day, 20 pips a day. On Facebook, I'm the only person in that group that belongs to our group because I've not seen any of the other guys on there. So if I can send
Mm.
everyone there so that we can all benefit from what those people are doing, that would be wonderful. But anyway, that's really what it is, guys. I said
Wow. Wow.
I was gonna go back to the other one, but I don't know, because of time. It's almost 11. But just
Yeah, it's almost 12 my time.
almost of your time,
Please.
no problem. So
Okay,
what?
okay, real quick, Mike. Real
Yes.
quick. Okay, so I'm ready to test this out. So, and I think I accidentally did this when I first tried the London breakout
Oh,
couple
okay.
months ago.
Oh,
But
fantastic.
so it's zero. It's the midnight candle
Midnight
on our
candle.
broker, which
Now
would be
on,
for an afternoon for us.
yes, it'll be afternoon for you. Let me see. For
Okay.
GFX, it's 1 hour. Let me see what midnight candle is. It's different for different brokers. Let me see what their midnight candle is. This is the one. That's their midnight candle. Okay, that's their midnight candle 23 then 00. Then it's the same. Well, I think it's pretty much the same one for GFX and FX shows. So once you've identified that midnight candle, your candle you're trading with will be the previous candle. This one here.
Okay.
So you
Okay.
come here, you find out the midnight candle, and then you go to the 1 hour, the daily chart, and then start analyzing it on the previous day candle. It's really straightforward. It's as simple as that. Then you find the high, find the low using this item here, the data window. So mouse over it, then it gives you what the highs and the lows are. Then you enter 5 pips up there, 5 pips down here. Yep. And then when that is done,
I'm just mad. I gotta wait till tomorrow at 4 o'clock to do it.
that's the price. When other people are getting 10, 20 pips, 30 pips, doing it 12 hours and everything, you probably wait and get your 100, 200 pips even, you know, in one sitting. Like, look at this trade, for instance. This was massive. Who does this? This is 100 plus, 100 and this is 160. Is it? Please, somebody call this number for me. This 11001162. Multiply
Yes,
that
1,000.
1162. How many hundreds is that divided by 100? That's 162. 100.162 or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
Whatever. Yep. So that's
Dude,
just that.
is that real account or am I looking
No,
at
no,
the
no, no.
demo?
No, this is my demo account. I told you now this week I'm using this to practice this strategy. And it
Man,
works.
I would have loved to practice today, but tomorrow, no problem.
No, you don't just take your time. Take your time.
Yeah, I think
Madam
Study,
Chinelo,
study,
calm
study.
down. Ginger
let me read the
woman.
book. I know, may I read the book and
No?
go through this
No,
recording.
this
Please,
one
Mike,
thing.
send out the recording today.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
What am I saying? Oh, did I say okay? This is 400 pips, isn't it? This is 400 pips, I would say. Ahead. This is 1,000 plus pips. My God,
Wow,
what was I counting?
wow.
This is 1,000
Mm-hmm.
plus pips. This is 400 pips. Yeah, my calculation was wrong. This is
Okay, I
200
beg.
pips.
Book and recording. Would you leave me
Yes,
alone?
ma'am.
No.
Sorry.
No.
No.
Okay, so now, like I said, wait till
mm.
12 midnight or your afternoon, 4 o'clock, your afternoon day for the guys in the States. Once that time comes in, then hit the charts, put things in, put your stop loss in, and come back after 10 to 12 hours. And then,
And I like it because it's daytime for us for once.
exactly. So you don't have to,
Oh,
Mm.
that's why I like it as well. It's just 10 o'clock. It's not, I don't have to wait till 3 a.m. in the morning,
I know.
you know, so it's good. So you do that and see the outcome. Can test it yourself. First of all, test it out and see what the outcome is.
Oh,
Now,
yeah.
what I
Yeah.
what I what I advise is this: don't just do one particular pair. Do it across board. Do it for all of it because you have all of the 6 pairs for the GBP pairs. All of the 6 of them: Chef, Card, JPY, um, NZD as well. Even NZD. Try those ones
Yeah.
as well. USD. Now, another good thing to also look out for. Look at once you've finally gotten acquainted with it. Look at the ones that have not too large spreads as well. I know some of the ones that Chef has large spreads as well. AUD as the best ones to trade is the GU, pair that has very small spread. Normally at this point they are normally high. This GBP GU normally the spreads are 1.5.
Yeah, very high.
No. GU is always sweet. The pair for GU is always very sweet. Yeah, this is about 1.5, 1.3, sometimes 0.9. So it's really good. The other ones are really massive. The NZDs and the chefs and stuff. Yep. So please go and try it out.
Donisha will not trade NZD.
I know we all don't like NZD. We all don't like NZD. So, but then practice it out, try it out, and then remember the advice. All you're looking for is 10 pips. Even if the market is going to give you 1,000 pips, all you're looking for is 10 pips to grow your account. Grow your account maximum. So let me say compounding interest. So you're not really waiting to enter the market. Stay in the market for like forever. So once you've seen your 10 pips, 10, 20 pips, get out, secure the bag, and go. Wait for the next day. Because it's all about growing. It's all about growing.
So you
all
mean,
right.
Mike, the 10 pips, so that means you have to set your TP at 10 pips.
Yeah.
You're not going to leave it. Okay.
You can set your TP. You can set your TP at 10 pips because trust me, this would move before you know it. 10 pips is already on there for you. You don't really need to. If you use the standard, you don't really need to wait for too long. Between 1 hour, 2 hours. This is okay. This is too much. Even see the move. I'm not even moving so much. I'm already there. So that's just what it is.
Cool.
So should be fine. I will come back. I will do supply and demand again after another session. But
Okay.
what I advise us to do is to go back and watch the videos. This one I'm going to share now, and then look at Linda's video. I'm going to send some documents as well for supply and demand as well for our own understanding. Different people have different ways of identifying supply and demand. But trust me, the ones you're really looking for is when a large candle leaves a zone or enters a zone. Plus, I have different indicators that make that possible as well. I have 2 indicators that also identify supply zones. They are like support and resistance, like I always say. So if a price is coming down here, it's going to come down here and it's going to go back up. So the next place you're looking for is the next supply zone. So this one tells you how many times it's been tested. If a supply zone or resistance zone has been tested over and over again, the possibility of it breaking is very high. If it's never been tested, then it's going to go there and bounce back. But then all of that, I will send you a document that you can read as well at your leisure time. But I'll try and see if I can get another session so that I can show you again. But this is what we need to do. This is what we need to do, and we have to get this money. We have to get this money, and nothing's going to stop us.
Yes, so.
Okay? All right.
Mike, so you're going to send out the book and the recording?
Yes. I'm going to send the book now. Then the recording is going to take a little time before it comes because it has to process well from my
Okay.
All right, guys.
All right.
Much.
Mike, thank you.
Have a
Are
fine
we still doing LBO today? Later on today?
Yeah, today is Thursday. I will still do one today.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
Do the final one for the week.
All right.
All right, guys.
Good
And
night.
I'll send you the link to the 20 pips and 20 pips group so that you can all join in as well.
Okay.
Okay.
Real
Thank
quick,
you.
for this strategy, there are particular days of the week?
Well, I started since Monday. I haven't had any reason to worry. So I started since Monday. But remember remember the rule. You trade 3 days a week. You allow Monday and Friday and to rest. Just trade 3 days. There's no point trading every day.
Okay, and sorry, Mike, that's okay.
Carry on.
Sorry, go ahead.
Carry on.
Okay, I said that Sunday gap into Monday. Does it affect this day strategy?
the gaps in the market. Gaps are just what it is. Gaps. The market is going to always come back
Okay.
and fill that gap. If there's a gap in the market,
Okay.
it's going to always come back and fill it. So it doesn't really matter.
Okay.
That's the way I see it. Gaps will always be filled.
Okay.
Hmm? Gaps will always be
Okay.
filled. All right.
Okay.
Donisha, yeah, your question.
I was just asking, did you find if midweek reversal affected it at all?
No, at all. Not at all. Not at all. I didn't find like today was this Wednesday supposed to be a midweek reversal in my own date, but then it even gave much more pips than usual. No. So, but like I said, I've only tested it for 1 week. I've only tested it for 1 week, but then all throughout the week, it's been a win. It's been a win. I'm not lost. The only one I lost was just that JPP, JPY. That's the only one. But remember, like I said, do not stick to one pair. Use if you're going to use a 0.1, break it across the pairs so that you can see what it's going to do. Yeah, break it across the pairs and see what it's going to do. Yeah, and once you have found out what pairs would deliver you can either stick to it or pick 2 or 3 that you'll be trading consistently. So even if one loses, the other ones will give you profit like the ones did today. You know.
Okay.
Yep. Any other question?
Uh,
I wish Natasha was here. Somebody reach out to her. I hope she's
She
all
just
right.
called me while we were on, and she said she was gonna watch it.
Okay. I know that we have a lot of hiccups on the video because of I'm sorry, yeah, on the video, but I'm gonna try and see if I can do another one. The one I'm gonna do by myself, and then I'll send it to the group as well. Then we can watch that one. That's the one without the questions, so there's no break and everything. Yeah. All right. Any more questions?
Okay, Mike. Thanks a lot.
All right. Thank you, everyone.
all right.
And
Thank you, Mike.
please have a fantastic evening. And
Would you see you later?
bye-bye.
See you later, Chinelo. Bye, Donisha. Bye.
Bye. Bye. God bless you all.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
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 Bye.